Facebook group post ideas that are going to get your group engagement. Now, Facebook groups get more engagement because of the way Facebook algorithm is set up than pages, okay? Sometimes less than profiles, but Facebook groups are really, really big on engagement. In fact, one of the fastest growing areas on Facebook right now is Facebook groups because there's so much stuff that goes on in there. If you have an active Facebook group where people are interacting with each other, you have really got a gold mine of people, and it's a little community built online because we're all trying to build communities online. We're all trying to connect with people online. Facebook groups are an excellent way to build like a community. So think of a Facebook group as like a club or an organization, only you don't have to leave your house and you can hang out with those people in your pajamas. So having a well-functioning Facebook group is powerful for your business, powerful for you to be able to tap into that community. Now, you may have a Facebook group that is dead or a ghost town, but have no fear. There is a way to revive it, and I'm going to help you guys tonight. Basically, what happens when a Facebook group is dead is the content that you're posting in there isn't engaging enough to get people to interact with it, which means the algorithm isn't going to show in the main feed your group's information, which means that your group isn't going, everybody in your group may not see the content that you're posting, and that is a huge problem. Whereas if you have people interacting on your post, the algorithm is going to want to show that to more and more people that are inside that group because it wants people to stay on their platform. So very important not to just have content that people might find interesting, but it's going to prompt them into action, prompt them to comment, prompt them to like, prompt them to do something. But it gets even better when you can get that community talking with each other. So like a group discussion type thing. And basically, if you don't have that going on, you don't have interaction going on, all you need to do is change what you're posting, okay, to something that people are wanting to comment on, and that is going to change your results. It sounds super simple, and it really is. So now you're thinking, well, everything I've posted so far hasn't been getting engagement. How am I supposed to get engagement? Well, I have 7 magical posts that will make sure to get you guys engagement in that Facebook group so that you can start having more things happening and having your content seen. And really nobody wants a dead Facebook group. We want to bring them back to life, right? So the first idea that I will tell you that is easy, simple, powerful, and you don't even have to create the content for it, is a welcome post to your Facebook group. So I do this once a week. I do it on Wednesdays. It's Welcome Wednesday. And I'm like, welcome our new members. Now, I think Facebook automatically programs it in to say, let's welcome our new members or something like that. Like when you go to like welcome the new members and Facebook's like, this is where you can click, it automatically generates something that says something like something weird. I don't know. I hate the wording. So I changed it to please help me welcome our new members. Now, what that does is it signals to the other people that are active in the group like, hey, you need to welcome these people, okay? And sometimes people don't interact on things because you don't tell them to. If you tell them to do stuff, a lot of times they will. So I like to change that. Again, the wording is please help me welcome our new members, and then list the members. I also list a picture. It happens to be a picture of me. I think I was in Louisiana. This was 2 years ago or something. And I was outside of a museum and an outdoor museum. And I'm just holding my hands up like this. And where it says like Louisiana art something, I took you guys know I love Canva. If you don't know what Canva is, it's an app where you can design your own social media posts. It's free. Like go over to Canva right after this live feed and create an account if you don't have one. But I just took a little square block and covered up what said Louisiana Museum, because again my arms are up like this and it says Louisiana Museum and over my head. So I covered that up with a black box, and then I just wrote welcome to the group in white letters over that. So it looks like I'm standing over a big sign that says welcome to the group. Now that is a picture to go with the post, and if you're creating content for your groups, but you're not using pictures and videos, you're gonna lose some interaction. Pictures catch people's eyes like that, like really super quick. And so when they see it and they see, oh, this is the welcome post because it clearly says welcome, they get in the habit of welcoming new members. And the more and more you do that inside your group and the more and more you're consistent in it, the more and more the rest of the members start to catch on and start to welcome people to the group. Not only does it get you some interaction on a very simple, easy post that you can do, but it also kind of makes the new person feel welcomed into the group. Because like a lot of times you go inside Facebook groups, I've been inside Facebook groups, and you don't feel welcome. You feel like everybody kind of already knows each other, and like nobody's really talking to you, and you try to post on something and it's just really uncomfortable. And so a welcome post will make your new members feel good. It also, when the older members that have been in there are like, welcome, 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 they're like, oh, this is cool. These people are cool. This is a place that I can belong. So welcome posts are huge. You can also take a different spin on this depending on how big or what your group is about. And actually in the welcome post, say, everybody help me welcome our new member. Put up the same picture. Some picture doesn't have to be a picture of you. I like to use a picture of me because I'm the leader of my groups and I want them to know me. Some of these people have never met me before, and I want them to connect with an image of me because people are more personable than like designs or stuff like that. But Canva also has a bunch of free images, so you could go with a puppy or a kitty or some kind of animal because they are adorable and relatable too. If you're somebody that doesn't like being in front of the camera, you don't like having your picture taken. But you can also say in the bottom of that, if so-and-so, please introduce yourself to the group and let people know a little bit about you. And then the new person can hopefully tell the group a little something about them, about what they like, depending on what your group is. Let's say you're in a makeup group, so maybe you're going to say, hey, Diane, welcome to the group. Please let everybody know who you are, let them know where you're coming in from, and let us know what your favorite makeup product is. Okay, so you can give them some guidance. And then maybe they say, I love mascara, and other people in the group are like, oh my goodness, I love mascara too, and so it gives them something to relate on because you're building a community. Okay, you're not just cramming stuff down people's throats. Groups are about community. So number one, welcome post, easy post can be done every single week. So easy, simple thing to do. Number two thing you can do in groups that get interaction is post polls. This is also going to combine with the next tip, which is tip number 3, which is ask questions. So I'm going to kind of combo those together, but they are two separate post ideas. One is post a poll. The other one is ask questions. So why are polls and questions so powerful for Facebook groups? Well, I don't know if y'all been on Facebook lately, but people have opinions. One or two opinions, right? They do. They have opinions. They have opinions on everything. They have strong opinions on everything and feelings on stuff, whether it's pumpkin spice latte or politics and everything in between, we have some opinions, right? So when you do a poll or you ask a question, you are triggering the response in somebody's brains that says, I need to express my opinion, okay? And right, wrong, or indifferent, that's what happens, okay? So you can post a poll and just, ask people. Now, it should be something that pertains to whatever your group has going on. Like, I'm in a documentary group, so maybe it's the best documentary of all time poll. Of course, I'm going to vote for, and they put up 3 or 4 choices, and my favorite documentary is in there. Yeah, you bet. I'm going to vote for my favorite documentary and be like, oh my gosh, you guys are crazy. This is the best one, and blah, 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 and why. So polls are great. Questions on the back end of that are even better. Okay. Now there are 2 types of questions. There are yes and no questions, which just simply ask for a yes or no answer. Now, sometimes those can be okay, but they're not as powerful as open-ended questions. Now, you can attach a question to literally any other post that you're going to put on inside your Facebook group. So maybe you're going to share a news article, something that pertains to your group just broke on the news. Like, I'll give you another example from my documentary group. When Tiger King came out, it was everywhere. Okay. So you could put something like that, a news article or a picture or anything, and then just say, what are your guys' thoughts on this? It's the easiest question in the world. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Or just thoughts, question mark, okay? If you're sharing tips, okay, if you're sharing one tip, or maybe there's something going on in your industry. Let's go back to, let's go to skincare. So you're in the skincare industry, your group's around skincare, and I just lost the stupid ingredient that's really big right now. Hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is a huge thing in skincare right now. So you could say, maybe you're going to, put up a thing that says, hyaluronic acid helps the skin maintain moisture. I've been using a hyaluronic acid product. I can really tell a difference in my skin. Thoughts? Question mark? Or what are your guys' thoughts on hyaluronic acid? Or have you guys used hyaluronic acid or whatever? So questions like that are going to spur people inside your group to start commenting on stuff. They're going to comment their opinion, and you'll have people that are going to comment back on what other people say. In my documentary group, in my Facebook groups, I can't tell you, sometimes there's like 15 responses, okay? But then on one of those responses, there's 15 other comments or 20 comments or 30 comments under one response. That is making the Facebook algorithm freak out, okay? Like a 12-year-old girl who got a phone call from a boy back in the 80s, okay? Back when people actually picked up the phone and it had the cord, okay? It makes the algorithm go insane, all right? It loves to see that kind of interaction. Now, we'll tell you, tread lightly with the questions, especially questions you don't want the answer to. You don't want to hear people's opinions on, okay? So I personally would really, unless you're in a political group, I would stay as far away from political questions and literally anything that has to do with politics as much as possible inside those groups, because you want positive interaction. You don't want people going for each other. Like, that is so uncomfortable. And I've seen that in other groups, and I've seen like one member going after one member, and it's just like, oh my God, I'm so uncomfortable. And I just want to like tell the admin, like the teacher, like, can we mute them? Can we mute teacher? Can we? Because I can't, I don't need that in my life. I don't need hate in my life. And I don't think anybody needs a massive amount of negativity coming at them, inside a group. So I don't allow that personally in my groups. Like, I don't allow to be like, no, shut it down. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Nope, 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 nope. We're not going to have any bashing of other members. We're not going to have any nastiness. We're not going to have any name calls. If we can't have a discussion about something like adults, then we just won't have it. Okay. So you kind of need to set those boundaries for yourself, but don't set yourself up for failure by asking a question that's going to implode your group, just because it's going to cause you a lot of drama. And, if that's what you're about, then hey, that's a great way to get it. But if you're not, that just is a pitfall I don't want you to fall into. And sometimes you can set up your post to kind of cut that off. And I'll give you guys an example. There was a documentary that I watched. It was a controversial documentary, and I posted it inside my documentary group, and then I literally said, I do not want to talk about the politics of this post. I will not engage with anybody that is talking about the politics. I just am looking at this as a documentary. I'm in a documentary group. I'm not in a political group. And literally nobody commented anything political on it. Now, at the same token, somebody else had put up a documentary recommendation, and it didn't have to do directly with politics, but it had to do with an issue that a lot of people they're divided on, and they didn't have that disclaimer in their post, and there was literally people like going in over a documentary, and I'm like, listen, It's a movie. Nobody made it, but it made me so uncomfortable looking at it that I didn't want to comment anything on that post because I was like, I don't want to get in the drama of that. And I want to stay away from that. So you can sometimes in your wording, if it does happen to be something that might be riding the line, adjust your wording to kind of shut down that if whatever you're talking about runs the border on something that can be a massive issue that divides people. So I hope that makes sense for you guys. So I did number 4. Stories. People love stories. In fact, if you can create a story on social media in the first couple of sentences and hook somebody and make them like, man, they'll click that read more button and they'll read all the way to the bottom to it. And I'll tell you guys, I have read, this was in our documentary group. It actually got flagged by Facebook for fake news because it was a joke post. And you guys got to be careful with those joke posts because they are getting flagged as fake news because they look like real news. But if you read all the way to the bottom, it's like, haha, joke, But Facebook is technically having to flag those right now. But it was that, what was it? It was something about Halloween. Oh, the story of Freddy Krueger is actually real. Like he was a real person. And, and the whole story somebody wrote out a whole story out at the bottom. And then down at the very bottom, the last sentence was like, yeah, I guess you believe anything. This is totally fake. And it was like totally made up. But it was for people that are fans of documentaries that were like, oh my goodness. And it was probably a good 300 to 400 word story that was completely made up. But we love stories and our brains are naturally hardwired to want to hear the end of it. So stories can give you a really powerful presence inside your groups, but not only your stories, but also your group member stories. So if you happen to be in a group, it's kind of dead, you're the only one interacting inside of it, go to some of your key group members and be like, hey, can you do me a favor? I'd really like if you were able to share more. I'd really like if you were able to tell your story about whatever. Or I'd really like it if you could share some tips. So going to specific group members that you know or you're more friendly with or you're in other groups with or you have some kind of connection with and asking them to help with interaction is going to massively help in your group because the other members of your group don't know that you went to that person and said, hey, I'd like you to post about this, okay? So they see other people posting. That makes them comfortable feeling like, well, hey, other people are posting. I can post too. So I should post some of my content inside here. So that works really, really great just going out and specifically asking people. I don't think I said this in the beginning, but as a rule of thumb, a video or an image needs to go with pretty much any post that you make on social media. The rule that I say is you should use images and videos more. And this is Facebook groups, Facebook page, Facebook profile, Instagram, wherever, whatever. A picture or a video needs to go with it more times than it doesn't. I'm not saying every time, but almost every time you need an image or a video to go with it. Just because it's more powerful, it's going to get more attention. Words get overlooked. They look like they belong to another post that might have used a picture, and it just doesn't get as much interaction as opposed with a video or a picture. So stories, possible. And you can do stories. They don't have to be typed out. Like if you're like, I'm not a great writer, because I'm not a great writer. I'm not the best writer in the world. It's not one of my favorite things to do. I do it every week on my blog for you guys that know. And if you guys want to check it out, it's carlalytle.com. Just my name, carlalytle.com. It has tons of tips and tons of articles on there to help you build your business. And you can subscribe to my newsletter. But you guys know that it's short and sweet over there because I'm not a writer. I don't enjoy writing. But I want to get the tips out to you guys in ways that you can go back and reference them later. So I do write things really once a week. But outside of that, I prefer to do video. I prefer to just talk to you guys and do video. So your story doesn't have to be written out. Just give your story a good title, give it something that's going to make people want to click on it and look at it, and then do a video. And your members can do this as well. They can go live in there as long as your group is set up for that. And if you have a group that's kind of big or you don't really know anybody inside that group, you don't have a connection to it, you might want to turn on where posts have to be approved before they're shown. I don't do that in any of my groups, but if it was ever a problem and I had somebody acting crazy, I have turned on post approval for specific members. Like I had somebody share something that was like the craziest thing ever. It was just weird. It wasn't like bad or anything, just super weird. And they shared it in my group and I was like, I don't know if their account has been hacked or what, but I just clicked on a button and put, that member has to have approval for all their posts because I didn't want a bunch of randomness inside my group, which thankfully now Facebook allows you to do that. Before, you just had to pick, like, everybody can, it's free for all and you can delete it, or you had to turn on those post approvals for everybody. Now, if somebody does something wrong, you can just turn them on just for that one person, which is pretty cool. If you guys don't know how to do that, there's 3 little dots that you see on like every post everywhere on Facebook. Click on that and you'll see the option for it there. So Facebook idea number 5, challenges, okay? Facebook challenges inside your group. So this can be anything that makes sense for your group. So maybe you're in weight loss. So you're going to do a detox challenge. And every single day for 7 days, you're going to post something that they need to do. So they're going to have to go to your group and check in on that post to make sure they know what their daily activity is. And then they're going to go back in that group and comment on that post like, I did it. These are my results. This is what's happening. So it gives people a reason to, number 1, go into your group every single day and look at the posts, as well as number 2, go back in and check in. So even more engagement on your post. Now, if you really want to make challenges work for you really good, make sure that you have people check in every day on those posts and then give something away at the end. Like it could be a product or a prize or a gift certificate, or again, anything that makes sense for your group. You can also do discounts, like anybody that participates in the challenge gets 25% off here or whatever. So whatever makes sense for you and your business, but a challenge. Maybe I saw one the other day. It was a makeup challenge, and they were challenging because people were at home and we're not normally doing our makeup if we're just sitting at the house. But it was trying to get people to feel good, trying to get people to play with makeup, and it was like 7 days of makeup. And so like the first day it was like a bold red lip, and inside the group it gave details on how to do that. So how to create the bold red lip, how to do it. Then they had people post their pictures of their bold red lips looks. And then one day it was like fall makeup. I don't know. I wasn't participating in it because I'm a no makeup girl unless I'm here with you guys. But, yeah, it was like 7 days, but it's great. If you're in a beauty group, that would be totally appropriate. And not only do you get to see your looks, but you get to see other people's as well. So massive interaction, massive getting people to talk inside your group. Because being in a group is really about getting the members not only to talk to you, but to talk to each other too. You're kind of like the hostess of a party, of a really big party online. So number 6 post, go live. You can go live with literally anything. Tips, tricks, trainings, go live and have a chat. Like you just want to chat with your group. Like, hey guys, I just thought I'd chat with you. You can ask me questions. We can hang out. We can just goof off. If you have Zoom, and you can do Zoom broadcast, which is where you have a Zoom room and then you broadcast to your Facebook group so everybody could like see each other, and then the replay is right there inside your Facebook group because you've broadcast to your Facebook group. So people that want to be on there all together, video chatting together, can be on there, and people that are on Facebook that just want to be typing, they can do that as well. So another cool idea, go live. Live videos get you so much more interaction than literally anything. So if you have a dead Facebook group, a live video is going to help you out. And you got to know the timing too. If you try a live video or you try posting at a certain time and that's really not working for you, you're not getting much interaction, change up the time you post. You have to play around with stuff like that to find out when most of your members are going to be online, when most of your people are going to be online. And then once you've figured out the sweet spot for your timing, then you can develop a routine. Now, for me, I suggest that you schedule your Facebook post. Obviously, you can't schedule a live video, but ahead of time. But like all of my Facebook group posts are scheduled on Tuesday, and from Tuesday to the following Tuesday, they push them automatically, and you can save them with inside Facebook. You don't have to have an outside app. I don't bother with outside apps. If you use them and you love them, great, awesome, amazing. I'm glad that you do. I would rather just use what's inside the app. It's just easy for me, and I've been using it since forever, and I don't see the need to go to an outside program. So if you're like, oh, Carla, I don't know how to, schedule my post. Inside groups, it's so much easier because you type in your post, and then you click the little schedule button, and it schedules it for you. Like, it's not even like a page where you got to go to Facebook Creator and do all this extraness. Okay, it is right there inside groups. It's just one simple button. It's super easy. But once you figured out your timing, you can start scheduling those posts, and then obviously doing your live. Maybe you want to do a live video once a month. Maybe you want to do it once a week. If you got a group that sells products, or you're talking about products, you definitely want to go live and show people the products, because images are not as powerful as video, specifically when you're talking about items that people are going to be buying or considering buying or something like that. Show them to them on video. Very important. So the number 7 idea is tips and tricks. When you're building a community, you need to show up for that community. You are the head of it, and you need to be providing them with information that's going to be beneficial, as well as getting them to share the information that they know that is beneficial. I can tell you guys an example from my Cat Mom group. So there is always and forever somebody in there asking for information on cats clawing stuff. So creating a post that's like 10 ways that you can get your cats to quit clawing your furniture is a great tip that you can share with people, because I think every time I go in that group, at least once a week, somebody's putting up something about their cats clawing their furniture. And I'm like, at this point, it's just like every single week we see the exact same post. I see the exact same information underneath it. So creating a post, and then if you set up your group right, you can actually tag a topic inside your post, so that if people are just looking for tips on cats clawing the furniture, or skincare, alpha hydroxys, or makeup, they're looking for lipstick tips or lipsticks that you have in your line and you're selling people, or if they're looking for discount codes or whatever they're looking for, they can easily find it because you've tagged it with a topic, and they can search the group and look through all the topics and like that. So if you're going to do tips and tricks, I would also attach a topic. And if you guys aren't sure like exactly what I'm talking about, if you go into your group, you start typing in a post, you'll see down at the bottom, it says add a topic, and you can see it very clearly. And you can put anything in that box. You can put whatever makes sense for you. It doesn't even have to be a real word. It can be an acronym. So it's not like something that Facebook monitors like that. I know a lot of times when you see a box and you can type in something, it'll only let you type in like from options. It won't let you type in from just whatever you want. Groups is not like that. So it's a pretty cool thing that you can do. All right, guys. So there they are. The 7 tips that is going to help you get engagement in your Facebook group and revive your dead group. Let me know in the comments section what idea you like, what idea you're going to use, which one you're going to start using in your business. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to drop those in the comments section as well.